The deal is finally done. Microsoft now fully own Activision-Blizzard. They've paid $68.7 billion, and the deal is finally closed. So all of your favorite Activision-Blizzard games are now wholly owned by Microsoft. Let's break this down in the video and see what this means for us as fans of all of their games. Obviously, we're big fans of Overwatch on this channel, but like, there is a lot to go over here in this video. So I think the best place to start is straight up with this. It is the announcement on Xbox Wire, which is the I'll play this in the background, but this is kind of like, I don't know what to make of this, but it's a trailer of, I mean, look what they've called it. Activision Blizzard King joins Xbox official trailer. It's a trailer of a corporate merger to sell it. It's like, what? Okay, but who cares about this? I found this was kind of funny. They just show off various assets from all the games that they now own, intertwined with obviously Microsoft IPs. You know, they've got Forza there. We see Master Chief Just, you know, and all of that good stuff. All right, so cool, good stuff. We like it. Let's move on. So let's break this down, because it's a seismic shift in the gaming industry. This is because you have now got a megacorp in Microsoft, owns literally one of the biggest games publishers there was. Now they're part of Microsoft. This propels Microsoft to being one of the biggest game publishers there is. So it's a seismic shift. It's power consolidation within the gaming industry. And honestly, we should all be kind of worried about this, because the more these monopolies grow, the more these companies, these mega entertainment companies or mega corp companies start buying up all of these publishers, it's gonna limit choice in a lot of ways, especially in the case of, like, you know, Microsoft, who have got a gaming platform where they're going to inevitably make their games exclusive to that platform. It doesn't matter what they've been saying or what they say in the future. I can tell you this, I can guarantee you this, that further on in the future, all of their big mainline games will be exclusive to Xbox platforms. This is already happening with Bethesda. We know the next Elder Scrolls game will be exclusive to Xbox only. Okay, that being said, let's just get stuck into this and break it down. So, my God, I need a haircut. Anyway, it's not about my hair, this video. Let's break this down. Okay, so this is the official statement of Microsoft. They're just Microsoft now, off Phil Spencer, because now he is effectively the boss of Activision Blizzard, although we will break that down because it's not as simple as it seems. Bobby Kotick is still at the company for now, although his departure has been confirmed. So, we love gaming. We love to play games, create games, and know firsthand how much gaming means to all of us as individuals and collectively as a community. And today, we officially welcome Activision Blizzard and their teams to Xbox. They are the publishers of some of the most played and most beloved franchises in gaming history across console, PC, and mobile. From Pitfall to Call of Duty, World of Warcraft to Overwatch, Candy Crush Saga to Farm Heroes Saga, their studios have pushed the boundaries of gaming for players around the world. Okay. I've long admired the work of Activision Blizzard and King, and the impact they've had on gaming, entertainment, and pop culture. Whether it was late nights spent playing Diablo 4 campaign with friends from start to finish, gathering the entire family in the rec room for our weekly Guitar Hero night, or going on an epic streak in Candy Crush. Has anyone ever gone on an epic streak in Candy Crush? What? Maybe bought an epic streak in Candy Crush? Oh no. Some of my most... Candy Crush is one of my most memorable gaming moments. Get out of here, Phil Spencer. This corporate speak is disgusting. Disgraceful. That was 2 words put together. Anyway, some of my most memorable gaming moments came from experiences their studios have created. He didn't mention Overwatch, did he? It's incredible to welcome such legendary teams to Xbox. Yeah, sure. As one team, we'll learn, innovate, and continue to deliver on our promise to bring the joy and community of gaming to more people. We'll do this in a culture that strives to empower everyone to do their best work, where all people are welcome and is centered on our ongoing commitment of gaming for everyone. We are intentional about inclusion in everything we do at Xbox, from our team to the products we make and the stories we tell, to the way our players interact and engage as a wider gaming community. These are statements that need to be made, obviously, given the state of Activision Blizzard over recent years. So, you know, I'm all for that. That's fine. Together, we'll create new worlds and stories, bring your favorite games to more places so more players can join in, and we'll engage with and delight players in new, innovative ways in places they love to play, including mobile, cloud, streaming, and more. Players have always been at the center of everything we do, and as we grow, we'll continue to keep players at the heart of it all. We'll continue to listen to your feedback, build a community where you can be yourself, where developers can do their best work, and continue to make really fun games. As promised, we will also continue to make more games available in more places, and that begins now by enabling cloud streaming providers and players to stream Activision-Blizzard games in the European Economic Area. A commitment made to the European Commission. Today, we start the work to bring beloved Activision, Blizzard, and King franchises to Game Pass and other platforms. We'll share more about when you can expect to play in the coming months. We know you're excited, and we are too. All right, let's finish this off before we sort of break it down. For the millions of fans who love Activision, Blizzard, and King games, we want you to know that today is a good day to play. You are the heart and soul of these franchises, and we are honored to have you as part of our community. Whether you play on Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo PC, or mobile, you are welcome here and will remain welcome, even if Xbox isn't where you play your favorite franchise. Because when everyone plays, we all win. We believe our news today will unlock a world of possibilities for more ways to play. Thank you for the ongoing support. We have so much more to come in the months ahead. I'm excited for the future and cannot wait to share it with you. Okay. So, that's a corporate PR message about the takeover. It was never going to be anything more than that. Microsoft have got a mandate to just gobble up as much game development and publishing studios as they can to build this massive sort of mega conglomerate that's just going to control as much digital entertainment as they can because they want your eyes on their products, right? Obviously, like I said, the other issue with Microsoft is they've got their own platform. They've got Xbox and they want people playing Xbox. And it's no secret that Xbox is flagging behind quite severely to Nintendo and to PlayStation in the console wars. I don't even think they're wars anymore because they're literally over. PlayStation is the games console. Nintendo is the Nintendo games console. Maybe I can't call PlayStation the games console. Switch and PlayStation, let's just call them equal. Don't kill me in the comments. They both do different things. They both do them very well. But then you've just got like Xbox on the side, right? How do you interact with Xbox? I've got an Xbox Series X, I want to say. Yeah, it's Series X. It's the big one. But I don't even use it. Now, you might think, what the hell, Sty? That's crazy. Why have you got it and you don't even use it? They sent it me. They actually sent it me when it came out, and it's still in the box. Maybe I should sell it. But whatever, I don't use it. But what do I use from Microsoft? Well, I use Game Pass on my PC, and I use that quite a lot. And obviously, I play Blizzard games, so I'm going to be playing a lot of their Blizzard games now because they own Blizzard. Anyway, let's move on and let me show you just exactly what they own now, because this will be really, really, really eye-opening. Look at this bad boy. This is I'm kind of in the corner here. I'll move myself when we get down to that section. But this is everything they own. Xbox first-party studios organization. Let this sink in, because this is massive. You have to remember, they only owned the majority of these studios here. They didn't own Bethesda. They definitely didn't own Activision. And they didn't own Blizzard or King before today. Obviously, Bethesda, that went through 2 years ago now, I think it went through. But yeah, this is obviously what's happened today. The increase in size of this company now for its offering in the gaming world is massive. It is massive. I mean, the Xbox Game Studios, there's some pretty strong IPs there. I mean, like Halo, yeah, I know it's had problems, but it's still Halo, right? Obviously, you've got Insidious, you've got In Exile, Sea of Thieves from Rare. That's actually kind of a local studio to me. That is actually in the UK. But yeah, there's a lot of games here, right, that have done really well. Mojang, obviously, I could have missed that as well. Minecraft's probably the biggest game there is there, probably out of all of these games, to be honest. Maybe not as big as Candy Crush in terms of revenue, we'll see. But there was a few things that Microsoft were missing here, and it was they didn't really have a mobile game studio. They do now. They've got the biggest one in the world. That makes the most money. They've got King. That's arguably why they wanted Activision Blizzard, and you just get the bonus of Call of Duty and Blizzard attached to the side. Anyway, they then pick up Bethesda. Now, Bethesda, obviously, there's a bunch of game studios here within Bethesda, but all we're really looking at are their mainline games, I'd say, from this. So yeah, I think Doom does really well, but I don't think Doom is something you can compare to the likes of a Halo or that type of, mega potential as a franchise. But you definitely can for Elder Scrolls and Fallout. Starfield, I don't know. I'm still not sold on Starfield personally. I still feel like Starfield is a bit of an outdated game, especially when we've got other games, namely Baldur's Gate 3, which does a lot of what Stargate, no, that's a quality series. Starfield tries to do, especially with facial animations and dialogue options. They look really dated in Starfield. But still, the next Elder Scrolls game, I'll be there banging on the door to buy that. But guess what? That's Xbox exclusive. You can't play that on PlayStation. And then obviously we move to today, where we get the culmination of a 2-year-long acquisition, which has resulted in Activision, which obviously its premier title is Call of Duty. They obviously do have other games. They have a lot of games, actually, Activision do. But, we're talking Call of Duty here. Billions of dollars every year in revenue. Massive feather in the cap of Microsoft. In fact, that now becomes probably their third biggest game, let's say, maybe behind Minecraft and Candy Crush. And then, of course, you get Blizzard. Now, Blizzard brings with it, if I just move myself out of the way over here, Blizzard brings with it a bunch of studios that you guys can kind of see there. I hope you guys can see this, but you've got all the different, not studios, all the different offices, I guess we can call them, for Blizzard. But what Blizzard bring are games, and they bring you StarCraft, they bring you Warcraft, they bring you Diablo, they bring you Overwatch. They've got an unannounced survival game in development. They've got a mobile game, Warcraft Arclight Rumble, which is coming out, which I think is a clone of, what's that Supercell game? It's totally gone out of my head. Not Clash of Clans, but the other one. Where you spawn the units in front of the screen. You guys probably know. I don't know. But it's basically a clone of that, but with Warcraft stuff. They've obviously got Hearthstone as well. Diablo Immortal makes a load of money, even though it's trash, but that's the way of the world. And then they pick up King, and King's got a load of studios around the globe, or offices, I guess. And they've got a Candy Crush, which just prints billions and billions of dollars. So let's go and talk about Bobby Kotick before we get into the details of what this might mean for us as Blizzard gamers. Because good old Bobby's finally getting the boot, but I mean, this is one hell of a golden boot up the arse, because he's getting an absolutely monumental payout in the hundreds of millions of dollars for securing this deal. I don't know where this pitch has been taken from, but obviously he feels quite happy with himself whenever this was taken. But anyway, we're going to go through this because it's only short, but it just gives us the lowdown. So now that Microsoft's acquisition is complete, Bobby Kotick, the CEO of Activision-Blizzard, is set to leave the company after the end of this year. In an email sent to employees and published on Activision-Blizzard's King website, Kotick wrote that he's excited about the future of the company under the bright green Xbox umbrella. He also wrote that in order to facilitate a smooth transition, he intends to stay on temporarily as CEO of ABK, reporting to the CEO of Microsoft Gaming, Phil Spencer. Phil has asked me to stay on as CEO of Activision-Blizzard King, reporting to him, and we have agreed that I will do that through the end of 2023. Kotick, who became CEO of Activision in 1991, stands to receive upwards of $375 million in compensation now that the deal is done. So this doesn't really come as any sort of shock, right? Activision Blizzard is a big company. It's got a lot of moving parts. We know Bobby Kotick is terrible, but also Microsoft can't just come in and kick the door down, remove all the management and expect things to sort of keep working. So there's going to be a transitional phase. It's going to be complicated. They're going to try and, bring different people on board. But the fact is here, Bobby Kotick was never going to remain after this deal because he's not going to report to anyone. Like, he reports to himself and that's it. He would not be reporting to Phil Spencer. So it was always on the cards that he would be out the door. The article then goes on to say it was expected that Kotick would depart Activision Blizzard once the $68.7 billion acquisition of the company went through. After almost 2 years of regulatory hearings, including an unsuccessful bid by the Federal Trade Commission to block the deal, the acquisition was finalized this morning, folding Activision Blizzard's prolific library of games into the Xbox family. In 2008, Kotick engineered the merger of Activision with French developer Vivendi Games, creating Activision Blizzard. In 2015, Activision Blizzard acquired Candy Crush, the developer of King, for $5.9 billion, creating the three-headed gaming behemoth, Activision Blizzard King. These last few years of Kotick's tenure as CEO saw the company beset by discrimination lawsuits, unprecedented organizational activity, allegations of union busting, unfair labor practice complaints, several walkouts, layoffs amid record profits, and petitions from employees for Kotick to resign. Okay, so where does this leave us as fans of Activision Blizzard games and players of Overwatch, I guess, specifically? I don't think much is going to change in the short term. Like, there's parts of me that look at other games that Microsoft have got. I look at Halo Infinite, right? And I think, okay, There's no way that Overwatch will ever change from its current monetization model. It has been built to be a free-to-play live service game. That's the way it's always going to be. They're always going to plug content into it. That being said, there are ways they can plug content into it and deal with content in a more fair way, in a way that maybe will make the player base more susceptible. I guess that's kind of a sinister word to use, but more amicable. Maybe that's a better word, to give them money for various bits of content. One thing that I really like that Halo has done is the fact that you can just complete battle passes whenever you like. So if I bought the Season 1 battle pass in Overwatch 2 and maybe hadn't completed it, then I could go back now and grind and unlock that. Maybe I've finished grinding the battle pass for this season. It gives me something else to do. To me, this just seems a no-brainer. So I would hope that over time, pressures like that come down from Microsoft and they say, hey, maybe do it this way, maybe do it that way. Now, also, talking of pressures, there might be completely different pressures here, or maybe a reduction of pressures that the teams working within Activision-Blizzard are used to sort of working under, namely chasing revenue at any kind of cost. Microsoft is a bit of a different beast. Now, Microsoft is an infinitely bigger company. This is like $1 trillion company, infinitely bigger than Activision-Blizzard. It's got a lot of moving parts. The gaming division of the company, yes, while it is now massive because it owns Activision-Blizzard, King, it still has ways of generating revenue outside of that core business, because that's not even its core business. You know, Microsoft, it does a lot of stuff. So what this might mean is there's more time, there's less pressure, there's maybe even more money for teams to develop better games, finish projects. This might mean it could usher in almost like a revival of Blizzard. When we look at the way Blizzard used to be in the past, maybe we start seeing signs of that coming in. Now, I think in my wildest dreams, what happens here is Blizzard is almost separated from this block of Activision, Blizzard, Microsoft. It just becomes Blizzard and it starts to run itself again. Yes, there's oversight from Blizzard. Yes, from Microsoft. Yes, they'll come in and say, you know, is this game ready? When will this game be completed by? You know, they'll want to know information like that. But giving them more freedom, allowing Blizzard to actually develop its own games again, could reinvigorate this company and almost bring it back, you know, as a phoenix rising from the ashes. Because what we've got now at the moment with Blizzard is a company that pumps out tons of content. It is making money, don't get me wrong, right? It's easily making tons of money. Overwatch 2 is making money. Diablo 4 made an absolute truckload of money. Fastest selling game Blizzard have ever made. Yeah, there might not be many people playing it right now. They don't care. They've sold loads of the game, box copies of the game. They'll have an expansion rolling out next year for the game that'll make even more money. So this game makes a ton of money. The company makes a ton of money. Warcraft makes a ton of money. It's got an expansion coming out next year, I believe. Again, that'll make a ton of money. These games make money, but I think for me as a gamer, as like somebody who's played Blizzard games throughout my whole adult life, let's be honest, I kind of want to see the teams allowed to flourish again. I want to see, you know, obviously I'm intimately aware of Overwatch as a game. You know, a lot of you guys are as well, watching this stuff. And like, there was a spark in Overwatch when the game came out. And there was a spark, there was a joy, the way that they announced things. You remember the Sombra ARG? Yeah, I know it was, you know, that wasn't all positive. But like, that was drawing people in. What could this be? Where could this go? The way heroes were teased, the way everything was done. It just felt great. It felt like you were part of a community. Even the old developer updates as well, you felt like you were part of a community. Now, it just feels sanitized. It feels washed. It feels like it's been turned into a production house where they're pumping content out because they've got to hit these milestones. You look at people who've been brought on board into the Overwatch team. You look at their history. You look at where they've come from. They're obsessed. Well, not obsessed, but they specialize in production, pumping content out. You've got people from Epic. You've got people from Riot Games that have come on board. And things have changed, right? And I feel like some soul has been lost here. So maybe we go into a world where Microsoft give Blizzard back power, agency over itself. Also, another thing which is a really interesting topic to discuss is the idea of Game Pass. Now, Game Pass as a model, it's got pros and it's got cons. Obviously, everything turned into a subscription model is not great. You know, how many subscriptions have you got? I challenge you guys to. I mean, I've got like a Netflix subscription, Game Pass subscription. I've got Amazon Prime subscription. I've got like, how many subscriptions do we need? It's basically like having cable TV, right? I don't have cable TV. Right? Well, in the UK, it'd be paying for Sky. I don't have Sky. I'm poor. I don't have Sky. Anyway, Game Pass is unique in the way that it allows certain things to exist that maybe wouldn't have existed in a purely results-driven sort of business, right? Look at Age of Empires. Why is Age of Empires even a thing on Game Pass? The new Age of Empires I'm talking about. That can't have sold very well. I mean, it was part of Game Pass, right? So you just access Game Pass and you can just play it, right? But what about StarCraft 3? This is where I start getting really like hyped. I'm like, oh, I love StarCraft 2. StarCraft 3 was never going to get made under Bobby Kotick because RTS games don't have enough of an audience. They don't make enough money. What makes money is live service FPS games. That's why Blizzard was spamming those games out. But there is a world now where I see we might get a StarCraft 3 because it doesn't matter. It can be funded by Games Pass. It can just be something that's added to Game Pass, you know, and that's fine. These are things that I want to see. Will it happen? I don't know. I guess in terms of negatives as well for this deal, well, negatives are everything becomes more aggressively monetized because, you know, Microsoft is a company at the end of the day and it wants to make money on its acquisition. I mean, I wholly believe the whole point of the acquisition was just to get King. I mean, now it's going to have a massive mobile gaming division. We already know Blizzard are working on Blizzardifying their titles into mobile games. We've seen this with Diablo Immortal, which, you know, we could talk about that forever. Arc-Light Rumble, which is coming out, which, you know, we'll have to wait and see. But again, it'll be hyper monetized. What next? We're going to get Overwatch Mobile shoved out the door really fast. And Call of Duty Mobile as well is also a massive game. Don't forget about that. So, yeah, I don't know. This is a time, I think, which is interesting. It is a change, and Blizzard do need a change. But is it a change that's going to really make any difference with the games that we're playing? Probably not in the short term, but in the long term, I don't know. Like, I want to be positive about this because it could be great for Blizzard. But again, I'm not sure. You guys let me know what you think about this in the comments below. It's a very detailed topic, this is. I wanted to make this video because I think we do owe it to ourselves to discuss this because there's a lot of moving parts here, and this does impact our hobby. You know, we do play Activision-Blizzard games. You know, I play Overwatch 2. I play Warcraft sometimes. You know, I've historically played StarCraft. You know, so I even played Hearthstone. So, all right, guys. Anyway, I'll leave the video at that. Let me know what you think about this in the comments below. As ever, I've been Stylosa, and I'll catch you lovely lot on the next one. See you soon.